Most people think they've mastered carry-on travel. You grab a small bag, pack light, and skip the checked baggage fees, right? Easy. But here's the truth. Airlines love it when passengers get it wrong. They've quietly built dozens of traps into their carry-on policies. Rules about size, weight, hidden fees, and even personal item restrictions that catch unprepared travelers off guard. And the worst part? They rarely warn you. Today, we're breaking down the most common mistakes people make with carry-ons, how airlines profit from them, and what you can do to outsmart the system every single time you fly. Carry-on size isn't universal. One of the biggest myths is that all airlines follow the same carry-on dimensions. They don't. In the US, most major airlines allow a bag that's 22 x 14 x 9 inches. But fly internationally, and suddenly those rules shrink. European budget carriers like Ryanair or EasyJet often have much smaller limits, and Asian airlines sometimes enforce strict weight caps instead. The trap is this: your bag might fit on one flight, but be considered oversized on your connection. That means gate agents can force you to check it, often for outrageous fees. Tip: always check both size and weight restrictions for every airline you're flying. Don't assume your bag will be accepted everywhere just because it worked once. The personal item trap. Airlines advertise one free carry-on and one personal item. Sounds generous, right? But here's the catch. Their definition of personal item is shrinking. On some budget carriers, a personal item means nothing more than a tiny backpack or purse that must fit under the seat. Bring a duffel bag or a slightly larger tote, and suddenly you're forced to pay for an extra carry-on. The kicker? Gate staff love enforcing this rule last minute, once you're already boarding. At that point, you have no choice but to swipe your card. Smart travelers stick to slim, squishable bags that fit under almost any seat. Even if you overpack, you can usually tuck it down without drawing attention.
If you're curious about what the best travel insurance for you is, check the link in the description.
Weight limits that catch people off guard. In the US, airlines rarely weigh carry-ons. But in other countries, it's a different story. Many Asian and European airlines set carry-on weight limits as low as 7 kilograms, about 15 pounds. That's barely enough for a laptop, camera, and a few clothes. And unlike checked baggage, where you can pay a flat fee if you're overweight, excess carry-on weight often means you'll be forced to check the bag. And guess what? Those fees can cost more than your ticket. Airlines don't highlight this rule. They bury it in the fine print. The surprise happens at the gate when staff pull out a scale. The trick: wear your heaviest items. Put chargers, electronics, or even shoes in your jacket pockets when boarding. Once you're on the plane, nobody cares how much your bag weighs. Overstuffed bags get flagged. You might think, if my bag fits in the overhead bin, I'm fine. Wrong. Airlines use sizers, metal frames at the gate, to check carry-on dimensions. An overstuffed bag that bulges even an inch beyond the limit can get flagged. And if it doesn't slide in easily, you're paying to check it. This is one of the easiest ways for airlines to rake in extra cash because so many travelers try to cram just one more thing into their bags. Pro move: pack with compression cubes instead of overstuffing. They keep everything neat and within limits, even if you're carrying more than you should. Liquids rules still trip people up. The 3-to-1-1 liquids rule has been around for years. 3.4-ounce bottles, all inside one clear quart-sized bag. But you'd be shocked how many passengers still forget or think exceptions will be made. The result? Airport security confiscates toiletries, and suddenly you're forced to buy replacements at inflated airport or cruise port prices. Airlines and airports don't mind this mistake. They make money from every overpriced bottle of water, sunscreen, or shampoo you're forced to buy. Smart hack: switch to solid alternatives like bar shampoos, toothpaste tablets, and deodorant sticks. Not only do they last longer, but they're immune to liquid restrictions. Duty-free isn't always free. Many travelers think buying liquids like wine, perfume, or even water at duty-free means they're exempt from carry-on rules. But if you have a connecting flight, those bottles can get confiscated at security rechecks. Airlines and airports know this happens constantly, but they rarely warn you. That duty-free deal can turn into an expensive waste. The workaround: only buy duty-free items if your destination is your final stop. Otherwise, wait until you land to shop. Boarding last can cost you. Airlines have quietly turned overhead bin space into a revenue tool. If you board late and bins are already full, flight attendants may force you to gate check your carry-on. And yes, depending on the airline, that can mean a surprise fee. Some carriers even sell early boarding upgrades just so you can secure space for your bag. It's a clever way of monetizing something that used to be free. If you want to keep your carry-on with you, aim to board earlier. That might mean paying for priority, but sometimes even just waiting near the gate helps. Airline-branded bags aren't always safe. For example, airlines routinely sell carry-on approved luggage on their own web shops. This is a clever technique that may be used by airlines. There is a possibility that the luggage solely caters to the requirements of that specific airline and does not meet the requirements of other carriers. Consequently, even if you buy a bag that is labeled Delta approved or United carry-on size, it is possible that it will still be too big for airlines that operate in other countries. Travelers who are under the impression that there is a single size that would be suitable for all travelers are targeted by the marketing strategy. Researching the size standards that have been established by the International Air Transport Association, IATA, and purchasing luggage that complies with the most strict regulations would be the more prudent course of action to take. As a result of this, you will be safeguarded during the entire process. Overlooking travel insurance for bags. The vast majority of individuals believe that travel insurance is only relevant for checked baggage. This is a well-kept secret, however. Carry-on luggage is not immune to theft or loss. The majority of airlines will not cover as much as you believe in the event that you are required to check a luggage at the gate and it is misplaced. When it comes to airline liability, electronic devices, jewelry, and cash are frequently excluded. On the other hand, travel insurance can protect those items from being lost or stolen. Because they do not want to terrify you into recognizing how much danger you assume when they force you to check your bag, airlines will not tell you this information. Thinking carry-on is always cheaper. You are about to fall into the ultimate trap. Carry-on luggage is not always the most cost-effective option for flights. Additionally, there are ultra-low-cost airlines that charge a higher fee for carry-on luggage than they do for a checked bag. How come? They are aware that there is a limited amount of room in the overhead bins, and passengers prefer to keep their baggage with them. The demand is then monetized by them. The truth is that there are occasions when it is more cost-effective to check a small bag in advance online rather than paying for a carry-on at the gate. But airlines don't bother to warn you. They construct their websites in such a way that they encourage you to pay more.
Imagine needing medical care overseas and being handed a bill for thousands. It happens more than you'd think. The good news? You don't have to take that risk. Click the link in the description to learn how to protect your next trip.
Outro. So what's the big takeaway? Airlines profit from your carry-on mistakes. Whether it's size, weight, liquid rules, or boarding order, they've turned these little gotchas into billions in extra revenue every year. But once you know the tricks, you can beat them at their own game. Pack smart, weigh your bags, understand each airline's rules, and don't get caught off guard at the gate. Travel should feel freeing, not like you're walking into a trap. And now you know exactly how to outsmart the system.